All right. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm so, as always, excited to be here. Let me just grab one thing while I have people coming on. So today's topic is True Life Tuesday, and it's really about a couple things. Hi, Kristen. Hi, guys. So True Life Tuesday is something that we're just launching now, and when we talked yesterday, or tried to talk yesterday until my son interrupted us a lot, the topic yesterday was on authenticity. And what I've seen in my own life is that authenticity isn't always easy to come by in all areas of the world, right? Or in all spaces. So my example of that is that there are a lot of people out there who are claiming to be life coaches and to be healers and to be light workers, whatever you want to call them, who are actually not in it authentically. They're in it for the money, and they're in it for the power and the prestige and the ability to tell others exactly what it is that they should do with their lives. So I want to just tell you, if you're thinking about hiring a life coach, if you're in a tough place right now and you, for whatever reason, it's come into your awareness that this life coach thing is a thing. In fact, I was told by my parents that the new Roseanne reboot, Jackie is a life coach, the aunt, which I think is just hilarious. And it's kind of funny because life coaching is a career path that's really easy to poke fun at. Like, let's be honest. It sounds so crazy. It sounds so woo-woo. It sounds so not, official. So, I completely understand that. And trust me when I say that prior to hiring my first life coach, I felt the exact same way. So let me just be totally transparent about that. I honestly never thought I'd be in this role. But it's something that just kept showing up for me. And so I knew it was something I was meant to do to hire someone. I didn't necessarily know that I was going to actually come out as a life coach. Sometimes I feel like a complete crazy person, but here's the thing. I don't ever feel like a fraud. And so let's talk about what a real life coach does. So if you're thinking about, hiring a coach, this is what you need to make sure happens. A true life coach inspires you to take ownership for your own power. A true life coach supports you, shows you your resources, your skills, your strengths, mirrors them back to you, provides you with accountability, gives you an opportunity to recognize your own power. A real life coach will actually encourage you and yes, test you and maybe ask you to, do things you're not normally comfortable with. And that includes investing, right? Because investing is a big part of this. You have to be willing to put your money where your mouth is to see results. It's true. So you might get somebody, your life coach will say to you, this is the value of what you're receiving. And this is what I expect to receive from you in order for this relationship to be mutually beneficial. Yes, Lori said homework. You've got homework if you're a real life coach, because you care enough about their long-term growth that you're going to show up for them week after week, month after month, and make sure that they're following through at home as well. And that being said, the other thing that you're always going to see a real life coach do is that when it gets hard, that's when they dig in. That is not when they say, yeah, I'm just going to let you go. You're too difficult. The situation clearly isn't working anymore. Now, granted, there's always a time where life coach relationships can not, can naturally kind of ease in and out of awareness. That's another thing a real life coach does. They don't cling to you. They don't, I personally think that having to pay a monthly thing for a life coach or any kind of coach makes no sense to me. I understand, yes, you can have your monthly payments go month to month, but to have no way out if you decide that you no longer want to work with this coach that to me screams fraud. So let me just tell you a little bit about what a fraud will do. Hold on. Shoot, this thing is not opening. I just want my fizzy. Okay, so this is what a fraud's going to do. The fraud will make it feel like they are the only successful coaches out there. There's only one way to get to success, and that is through my program working with me. So that's a huge red flag. Oh, come on. There we go. Another thing a fraud will do is that they will sell to you again and again and again. And they'll probably come up with several different ways to give you the same content and make you feel like you are getting more value when really you're just paying more money. So that's something I really want to share too. So if you feel like you're in a sales funnel and you continue to get pitched to, most likely this person who's doing this does not have your best interest at heart. The other thing is they increase their rates without adding value, right? So they'll expect you to pay more for the same service that they gave someone else last year. And it's okay to raise your rates as long as you can honestly say that you're increasing value and that you can really stand behind that value. A lot of times these fraudulent coaches will just put exorbitant price tags on their work. And here's the interesting thing about money. When we invest a lot of it, yes, we do work harder. Yes, there comes a point where, we are so invested that we show up. But if the person on the other end doesn't feel like they're also giving you value that matches your investment, they're actually going to start to feel like they're out of alignment, even if they are just trying to make money. Deep down, they'll know that they're not giving you the value that you deserve. And that is when things start to get sticky and things start to get messed up when it comes to trying to work together. So just know that more money is not always better. Sometimes it is. For the really, really good coaches with a super successful track record, I can certainly justify investing a good chunk of change. It's a valuable service. Life coaching or any kind of transformational coaching is meant to change your life completely. So sometimes it makes sense to invest and change your life and start over in a completely new direction. And absolutely, it's worth it. However, these coaches that are out there that are touting this and charging tons and tons of money, not all of them are authentic. Okay. The other thing is that a lot of times they care a lot about appearances. And I can completely attest to this as far as I've had my own struggles with this where I feel like, oh, well, nobody's going to take me seriously unless I'm wearing Dior, or nobody's going to take me seriously unless my house is this big, or nobody's going to take me seriously. And there is, some truth to that, unfortunately, or whatever. It's just true life. We are human. We judge by appearances. But at the end of the day, if that's all I have, if it's only my shiny house, my shiny car, my shiny baby, my shiny husband, and my shiny clothes in life, if there's no one behind that screen, then there's an issue. And here's the thing, you guys. The other thing that really will you'll know if you're working with somebody who is a fraud is if they use shame-inducing sales tactics. If anyone ever says to you that if you care about your family, if you care about your future, if you care about your business, then you will do this. If you hear that out of the mouths of whoever is trying to pitch you their program or their business, and you feel shame because you're like, oh no, I have not been showing up for my health, myself, my business, my this. Using a little bit of that in sales, of course, is normal. But when you find yourself, okay, here's an example. This is a true story. Speaking of True Life Tuesday, I was once at an event sitting next to a woman who, had some stuff going on. She was definitely hurting. I could sense that there was some stuff going on for her. And the person who was pitching, who, fraud or not, I'll let you decide, was making it very clear that we all needed to invest in an additional program, which we had already paid to be at this one. We needed to invest in an additional program if we really cared about our business and if we really wanted to make a difference in the world. Whoa. Oh, as a woman, as a light worker, you hear that and you're like, oh, if I really want to make a difference in the world, then I have to do this program. And I felt it for a second. Like I felt the urge to, to sign up. But then I talked to the woman next to me, the one that was kind of struggling, and she starts crying. And she's like, Colleen, I'm on dialysis. How in the world am I going to be able to come to this program, which was in a different city than hers, every weekend for however long it was? And she's like, how am I going to do it? But I have to do it. And I looked at her and I said, why do you have to do it? And she's like, well, if I don't, then my business, that's all I have. And if that fails, then it's all over. And I have no way to pay my bills. I have no way to, provide for my future. I have no way to be a success. What if I die and I have nothing left to offer the world? And it was just like, oh my gosh. And I had to actually kind of talk her away from it and remind her, hey, can you think of a time when you have been successful and yet you didn't have this person, this coach involved? Can you think of a time when you that life threw you something completely crazy? And she was telling me these amazing stories that she's experienced. Things like one time she was scuba diving and, almost died and she had to completely surrender in order to live. Another time she was skiing down a mountain and, never thought that she would find the bottom because it was such a whiteout snowstorm. And she just had faith and skied with just her eyes closed pretty much and got to the bottom. And these things that she's experienced have given her strength, but she forgets because we're so used to giving our power away. We're so used to saying everyone else has the answer. And that's why authenticity is so important. We have to come back to, what do I believe? What are my values? Who am I? And it's not always easy to come to this. I actually have a friend who's a coach, who's a very successful coach. And one thing that she does hi, honey. You can sit here, but you have to be quiet and you can't play with anything. We've got a friend here. You can play with this. So, please, I said, please don't play with this tea. No, I don't need it, honey. Can you say hi to everybody? They're watching you right now. They can see you. There's 5 people who can see you right now, at least. Many more later. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, and the other thing that I think, I was saying this coach, she spends a day, every week writing about what she values in life and what's important to her so that she never loses sight of that. Because when we get caught up, thank you, honey. When we get caught up on the things that we, think we're supposed to do or whatever, rather than the things that really come from within, then it's really easy to get lost and to get stuck. And the other thing is that we're empaths, we're good people. So it's really easy to just be like, oh no, they've got our best interest at heart, just like I would. They're not here to be fraudulent. But you know what? Unfortunately, we all know there's people out there who are snake oil salesmen and, who are, okay, honey, you play a game. Go ahead. Go play with that one on the shelf right there, Asher. All right. So that's something I wanted to share today. A good coach will never make you feel like a failure if you don't invest in them. A good coach will never ask you. Okay, honey, I'm almost done. Give me 1 second, okay? Yeah, so the best coach will inspire you to step into your power instead of ripping it away. So I hope that some of you watched this, found this valuable, and that maybe you'll learn from my mistakes, because I've certainly invested in some frauds, unfortunately. And hopefully you won't end up doing the same thing, but you can learn from what I've shared today, how to look for the right Honey, hold on. Hold on. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Please. I almost got through a whole one, but I hope that this was helpful. I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday. Thank you for sharing your morning with me, and I'll talk to you all soon. All right. Bye. Asher, I'm trying to talk to my friends, and you interrupt me every time. Please go back into your room until the clock turns green. Yep. No, Asher, you have to wait for me to come and get you. You can't keep coming in here and then talking over me. Asher, look at my face. It's not nice. I was in the middle of something important, okay? Now, right now, you are important, okay? So give me a hug. Hi, honey. Can I have a hug, please, first? Give me a hug, please. I will go up there in a second after I have a hug. Okay, I love you. Even though you're crazy. What do you want? This? This?
Yes.
This is blue.
There. Let's see what's in there. Whoa, what is this game?
Scrabble. It's for like words. And I think there are some pieces. Just please don't lose the pieces, okay?
Whoa.
Try to spell your name, Cheese.
Okay. I need
Oops, I forgot to turn off this.
It's blank. This one's blank, Mom.